Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, president and founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's edition of the Daily Stand-Up. So without any further ado, let's get started. It's New Year's Eve. So I guess the question is, how are we going to say goodbye to 2020? You know, in the Agile world, we can call it our retrospective for 2020 and ushering in the new 2021 tomorrow. There's lots of things that we can do, but I think that it would be real easy for us to list off a laundry list of the things that we hate. You know, COVID-19, undue pressure on families, way too many Zoom meetings, having to wear a mask everywhere you go, now having to deal with a vaccination, pressure from politics and elections. And this 2020 has, reasonably been called a dumpster fire by many folks. But I think that a lot of people are missing the true intent of all those different activities and events that happened and how it could have positively impacted who we are. So instead of looking at 2020 as the nightmare that many of you will consider that it was, I want to look at 2020 a little differently, and I want to list off the top 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for that happened in 2020. And I want to start with my ability to have greater outreach. So prior to 2020, all of my classes that I taught, any of the coaching sessions that I did, they were all live and in person, which is wonderful. It's amazing. And I love to travel and I love to see all of your beautiful faces. The problem is it didn't give me quite as much outreach. 2020 gave me the ability to teach people from all over the world. I had an opportunity to participate in the Agile Fluency Project in Africa. I had an opportunity to participate in classes with students from Sri Lanka, from the Middle East, from Iran. It's been absolutely amazing to see and to be able to engage with people from all over the world. It's been exciting to be able to hear different perspectives on how people are applying Agile both in their daily lives and in their work lives. And it's been incredible just to be able to have a network that's larger and stronger and more widespread. And, I hope to look at this as enhanced opportunity in the future. What I found is that a lot of the students who take courses from me, whether it's a Scrum certification course or just a basic Agile knowledge course, or receive coaching, what I find is that oftentimes many years down the line, sometimes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, they come back to me and say, hey, now I'm in a leadership position and I have a whole group of teams that I need to work with. And I'm hoping that you're still available and doing training because what you left me with had impact. So I think the thing that I would say I'm most grateful for, or one of the things I'm most grateful for here in 2020, is that because of all the restrictions that were placed on us as individuals and as businesses, it gave me an opportunity to spread a wider net. And although, each individual class size may have been a touch smaller, it gave me an opportunity to touch the hearts and minds of more people that I may not have had an opportunity to do across the United States and even around the world. Coming in at number 2 on that list, speaking of which, is I am grateful for the smaller class sizes. I know that sounds weird because that equates to less income, but I am grateful because I feel like the smaller class sizes allowed me to have a dedicated focus to the individuals who are in the class, and it gave me an opportunity to teach differently. It taught me better skills about how to keep people engaged in a remote setting. It gave me the opportunity to utilize a skill set that I hadn't used in a long time to create worthwhile exercises and meaningful things for people to learn. And it gave me an opportunity to treat others differently and to understand more about culture and diversity and equity. And it gave me a chance to be more inclusive, both as an individual and an organization. AgileDad made huge strides to incorporate even greater diversity in our own staff and to really make sure that we were extending the hand of opportunity to anyone who was qualified and who had, skills, and not just looking to pick the cream of the crop as we had in the past. So it's been a great opportunity to see growth, and I think that that's something that's incredibly powerful, and that would be my number 2 on my list. Probably number 3, the most important, is I learned how to live with my family, and I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain. When you're on the road most weeks for 4 or 5 days and you come home, you only have to live with your family for a couple of days before you're back on the road again. And I miss them. I missed my beautiful daughters. I missed my 2 sons. I missed my beautiful wife. I missed opportunities with them. I missed things that we normally would do together as a family. And it was very interesting to be home and see how things are conducted day to day and how the family operates and how people work together. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I knew how things were going, but it's different when you can see it firsthand and see it in person and be engaged and be involved and work on projects together and do things and have fun and laugh together and watch a movie together. I mean, there's so many things that I could have been doing that were work related to help be better prepared for 2021. But I took a lot of the opportunities that I had just to spend that time with my family because I feel like it deepened my relationship with my wife. I feel like it deepened my relationship with my children. And I feel like overall, it made me a more well-rounded and a better person. And it helped me get out of the funk of not being able to go places. I'm a very social person. I like to go places. I like to engage with people. So I think having those people nearby really did help me in that perspective. I think the last one's going to be a surprise here. I threw in a bonus, number 4. I think 2020 taught me how the importance of staying in good physical condition and health. It taught me about monitoring my weight. I mean, who would have thought that I'd be able to say that in the year 2020, in the beginning of the year, I gained nearly 20 pounds, and at the end of the year, I lost 55 pounds. Who would have thought that I'd be 55 pounds down after having gained so much in the beginning of the year? It's insane. And I think that I learned how to appreciate exercise. I learned how to enjoy hopping on my echelon and riding until my legs burn. You know, I've learned to appreciate the yummy food that my son can cook and the healthy food that we have in our house. I've learned to appreciate that, you know, I can take better care of myself and feel better and look better and be happier. And I find that my spirit is on a high. So while many people are struggling and looking at all the negative things that have happened in 2020, overall, I think 2020 has been a great year from a retrospective perspective. What went well? Lots of things. I had lots of growth opportunity, and I approached 2020 with a growth mindset. What didn't go well? There were lots of things that didn't go well, but most of those things were outside of my control. So as far as I'm concerned, there wasn't a lot that didn't go well. It's just you have to learn how to roll with the punches and figure things out so that you can make the best of the situations that you're in. As far as what I would do to improve in 2021, well, you know, that might have to wait until tomorrow when we talk about New Year's resolutions and those types of things. But overall, I can say that 2020 has been a very good year. It's gotten people to think differently, act differently, behave differently, and hopefully it got a lot of leadership to understand how teams work together better, especially in a remote setting, so that they can gain greater focus and so that they can have better confidence in the people who are doing the work. So I hope that your 2020 has been amazing, and I hope that you continue to engage with AgileDad and with the Daily Stand-Up Podcast. I do have a quick challenge for you. I challenge you to invite 5 people to subscribe to the Daily Stand-Up Podcast. It's not a lot. You can even say it in passing, hey, I got this cool podcast. You got to listen to it. It would be a great help because as soon as we get our listenership to a certain level, it'll give me the ability to even broadcast to a greater audience, which will then allow me to do other mediums and will allow us to greater expand the message. So thank you for being amazing in 2020. Thank you for being the person that you are. Most of all, thank you for being a friend of AgileDad. Until next time, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Have an amazing New Year's Eve. Don't stay up too late. And ring in a new year with enthusiasm. Until next time, do take care.